Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, commodities, ETFs that I follow. I'm going to interject my financial opinions as we go through this. And if you need any help, check out finding-value.com. I just released a midweek update for all you guys who are members. Check it out. We still have the discount coupon code LEAP going on, and it does provide a bigger value to you for the yearly membership, or you can sign up and try it for the monthly membership and get a discount on the first month. So let's dive in. Let's see what's going on today, and I'll share my opinions as we go. I'm going to start with the dollar. And the dollar had a monster move higher today, guys. Monster. You can see on the weekly candlestick, we've got a setup here where we could definitely go higher in the DXY. There's the daily candlestick. We saw it yesterday with the retest and the wicks on the bottom coming back to support. The breakout to the upside, and I do think further upside is possible here in the DXY. And why do we look at this? Basically, what it's saying is that the dollar could strengthen. And generally, when the dollar goes up, oil goes up, inflation's going up, interest rates go up. And the preferable assets are those that are inflation sensitive. The 2 year yield up massively today, 4.8% today, a big breakout to the upside. We had that retest yesterday. And this does look like we could potentially go higher in the 2 year yield, which generally means the Fed funds rate is going to go up because those are highly correlated. The 10 year yield also up monstrously today. Look at that big move. And that does look like we can continue higher. We were up over 4% today. And look at the size of this move. It looks like it wants to take off again to the upside for the 10 year, the 2 year, and also the 30 year wants to join in. Big move to the upside, 2.87% today. Big engulfing candlestick. We've got big green candlesticks, small red candlesticks. Guys, this looks like it wants to go higher, not lower. Looks like we want to go up. Last time we got these set of market conditions, oil did very well and energy did well in general. Energy in general. That does include uranium. I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, what about uranium? It does include uranium. Uranium does well with interest rates shooting to the moon. TYX TNX ratio, we are still inverted. We inverted a little bit further today, small, minute inversion, but we are still inverted. We could stay inverted for a while. That could suppress gold. It may not suppress gold. Historically, it would have, but it seems like gold is setting new boundaries and territories of just continuing to go up irrespective of interest rates. So gold, I think, does look very strong, irrespective of necessarily where we're at here. But generally speaking, when it uninverts, that's when gold lights it up. Bond prices going down 2%. Looks pretty crappy, to be honest. And that does look like we could fall even further to the downside. And then the 2 and 10, yeah, we are inverting. For the 2 and 10, we had the yield curve go up more on the short end than the long end, and that is inverting further. And we could see this invert even further with the inflation that we're getting in the system and that CPI release, which is bullish for this to go upwards. So gold is down. We do have a bearish engulfing candlestick on the daily here. We could head a little bit lower. We could go sideways. But again, guys, I'm not necessarily going to believe that if interest rates go up, that gold will necessarily go down. We've seen that correlation break, and I would say maybe we get a consolidation much like this here, where we go sideways or something like that, and continue to stair step higher on top of that. So silver down a little bit, but again, gold and silver took this rate move like champs. We've broken to the upside. Silver looks good. Not a huge down selling pressure day. It took those interest rates in stride. And we'll see what tomorrow has in store for us. Maybe we get a little ripper tomorrow. I'm holding my um, opinions to see what occurs over the next few days since that news was just released. And gold and silver really took interest rates on the chin here, and it held together. I'm surprised. Platinum also looking like it's ready to break out at any second, probably get a huge run. I think it looks fantastic. We're sitting right on resistance. Yeah, we got a little bit of selling pressure, and some people say, well, it's a bearish engulfing, but we are up against resistance, guys. So what I'm looking for is, are we just going to loop it like this and try breaking out, or are we going to sit, go sideways, and run? That's what we're looking for. We're right hitting resistance. We got to see what that resistance does and how strong the selling pressure is off that resistance. So we'll see tomorrow what it looks like. And then palladium, we sold off a little bit today. It is a larger selling pressure candlestick. We could loop back down and we'll see what the selling pressure looks like. And right now, this is an inverted head and shoulders. We broke that to the upside, did our retest, and we might not get a huge return move. So I think palladium still looks good. XAU to gold ratio, the gold and silver mining company is selling off a little bit today, but it wasn't a huge selling pressure day. It sold off a little bit, but I still think everything looks good. It still looks like everything's intact. We still have broken the longer term downtrend line. Everything is still A-OK, and let's see what tomorrow has in store over this, well, I should say the next two trading sessions. Let's look. The CRV index, we are going up. I think oil was up today, so that looks good. Rolling on higher. This could go a little bit jiggy to the upside, guys. If there's war in the Middle East or if something breaks out, we could see a big move in oil, which then could impact commodities, interest rates, and another thing to also think about is maybe commodities and the predicament that the United States is causing the war. So the war isn't the root cause of this. It's them being in this situation and them wanting to blame something. That's kind of my potential opinion on it, but this does look like it wants to go higher. We're seeing that CRB to S&P 500 start to really outperform. It's starting to kick back up. I do think this will outperform massively if we get the rates to move to the upside. They're probably going to have the plunge protection team in here buying up a bunch of shares of NVIDIA and all these other Mag 5 or 7 or whatever you want to call it. But that looks good to go higher there in that ratio, commodities to outperform the S&P. GDX, we were down a little bit today. It's not the end of the world. And we are coming up to a little bit of resistance here. So maybe we get a little bit of a pause and we'll see what that pause looks like, but it still looks good to roll on higher. Remember, gold is broken out and this is just one big flag pattern basically. We've got GDXJ doing the same thing, a little bit of a selling pressure day today, but still looks good. Still looks good. And we've broken out of all the trend line. It still looks good to go higher to work its way on up. SILJ down a little bit today, but again, it still looks good. Momentum's to the upside. Everything looks good to go up. Crude oil up 1.2%. Pretty strong day today. Pretty strong closing as well. We had a yucky day yesterday, which is a bearish engulfing. But today, we got some good buying pressure. And I know there's some crude recovers early losses on warning of possible attack by Iran. But again, we'll see. It still looks good. Momentum's to the upside. We have that candlestick yesterday, but today it was a pretty strong reversal candlestick potentially. And we'll see which way it goes. There's the reversal back on higher. TTF gas moving sideways. Still looks good to go higher. We're looking good. See how the red candlesticks are starting to really mute themselves, get a lot smaller and smaller. So we basically, oh my goodness, what was that? Basically broke out of this, came back to do a little retest. I think we're going to go higher. Looks good to go on up. based off the candlestick formations of what I normally see. Nat gas continuing to work its way on up. I drew this in here. That's a potential path where we could get stuck a little bit at that resistance, either above it or slightly below it. XOP, yeah, you know me, hitting it up hard, getting the green bullish engulfing candlestick today, like this one here. It could be the beginning of a move higher. It could be. We've broken the neckline. Everything looks good. We're sailing on up. And hopefully the momentum continues. That's what I'll say. It looks good. And this could just be a little flag pattern into a bullish engulfing where we run on up. OIH also reversing earlier sessions selling pressure, ending up today. It could be a reversal candlestick, and we'll see if we can break on out of here tomorrow. That's in the really short term. A little bit of resistance. We're right there, but momentum to the upside still looks good. It's holding on. And if oil continues higher, I would expect this to work its way on up. Sprout Physical Uranium Trust getting some big buying pressure here today. Bullish engulfing. Looks good to go higher. That's what we were waiting for. Moving on up. That's what we're looking for. Energy does well with interest rates going up. Here comes the money, I guess. URA also getting this could be a reversal candlestick. We've got some support there. It tapped on the support. And we'll see if we can get moving. We'll see if we got the buying pressure to apply here. And then URANIUM doing the same thing right on support, tapping that support, coming back up above it, and it is a bullish candlestick to get moving perhaps. URNJ also another bullish piercing candlestick where we could go higher here in this flag pattern. So it's looking good for URNM and URNJ. Pretty good candlestick today. TAN doesn't like the increasing interest rates, down 3.4%. Still basing out sideways. Copper also not a favorite when interest rates go up, but it held its ground. And the tightness in the physical market's probably going to continue to drive this higher anyway. COPX also selling off a little bit, 0.9%, still looks good, momentum to the upside. All A-OK. Lithium, it's not going to like that increasing interest rate, guys. Doesn't like it, came back below the resistance line, moving sideways. REMX doesn't like it either, right back to the resistance level. We've got the S&P 500 selling off a little bit. It doesn't like interest rates going up. It doesn't like a strong dollar necessarily. It could head lower here. Same with NASDAQ. I know that these are sensitive, and in a presidential election year, they're probably going to come out and straight buy these things. I mean, that's how desperate this is. They are very desperate for votes, Mr. Biden is, and they're probably in there manipulating as much as they can. KRE does not like the interest rates going up. Neither will the home builders, is my guess. So we had a sell-off there. Emerging markets doesn't like it. Sold off 1.3%. Home builders also selling off. If interest rates continue higher, I could see this go lower. The affordability is going to get a little bit ridiculous here with the homes if interest rates continue to move on up. MU, also a little bit of selling pressure today. That is normal with interest rates rocketing in the DXY. For some reason, MU's a little bit more sensitive to that. But it still looks good. We're still broken out of that downtrend. Everything A-OK from that aspect of support and resistance. Iron ore moving sideways, but still looks good to try to put in a bottom here. It looks to me like that has changed. I would be looking at diversified miners and iron ore miners at this time. Wink, wink website. Nickel also small selling pressure, but still looks good to go higher. Why do I say that? It's the lead-in pattern, small selling pressure that all leads higher. Aluminum also working its way on up. This is ultra strong in the face of strong dollar, strong interest rates. And aluminum does look like we could get a nice little sustained rally here over time. Baltic Dry Index selling off a little bit right on support. I do expect this to turn around soon. Iron ore has been pretty solid here. It looks like it wants to go up. And coal's been trying to break out as well. Here's coal, since we're talking about it, right underneath resistance. When we get this break here, you're probably going to see a big break in coal stocks. I did talk about coal stocks during the midweek update. I also talked about some of my favorite steel companies and iron ore companies, and that is all included in the midweek update. And look for the bold ticker symbols, guys. Those are the ones that I really like that are highlighted on the post. Bitcoin up. Don't know how. It just keeps holding on up here. We do have a battle between the buyers and sellers here, and we'll see who wins out, and we'll see how interest rates and the overall stock market impacts it. So we'll monitor it here. Same with Ethereum. It's just up a little bit, but moving sideways. This could be similar to a flag pattern that could go lower. It's possible. Um, we also have SMCI that's holding on. Don't know how with the interest rates going up and how nasty this chart looks, but it ended up a little bit today. And NVIDIA also, I think, was up today, about 2%. Bearish engulfing patterns there. That's usually a start of something like a sell-off. But today we did get some buying pressure. Is it the plunge protection team in here trying to buy some stuff up? It could be. And it is a bullish piercing candlestick today, which we could reverse this if we get another update tomorrow. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you guys like. We still have the discount coupon code LEAP going on. And I did release the midweek update, so it's out there to look at it. I do think that there's some good potential entry points in the market. It might not be the normal entry points that we've been looking at. There's a couple of different sectors I've been looking and added some companies that look pretty good. So, yeah, that's what I've got for today, guys. I think that's about it. We've got a Saturday 7 a.m. question and answer session coming up, and it's at Mountain Time. You can ask whatever questions during that session. All right, guys, we'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.